Transformable mobile suits had always had a special place for me. And that brought me to this. The next question to mind is, does the Master Grade 2.0 stand the test of time? Or does this kit from 2005 need the 3.0 stamp? Greetings, salutations, and welcome to the Toyama23 hobby channel. In this video, I'll unbox the Zeta 2.0, the infamous granddaddy to all modern Master Grade Zetas. Now, I call it that because as you look at the box art here and compare it to other previous Zetas, you'll notice the proportions have been revised, giving the Zeta a sleeker silhouette and look that we all see and love today. Speaking of box art, we have the Zeta 2.0 in an action pose with some depth of field action going on here, having the rifle pointing forward and looking much bigger than the other parts of the artwork. And it is still an artwork that holds to today's modern Master Grade box art. It is a dynamic image with not too much going on. I do notice that they hold back on making things extra shiny in this box art. A lot of shadow and dirt smudges are all around the mobile suit, giving it a duller and muted look, if you will. But still, in all, it is eye-catching, pulling your eyes on the MS, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And at the bottom of the box art, we have a close-up of the Zeta with green eyes. But on the other side of the box, we have the Zeta in Wave Rider mode. I must say though that I'm not too impressed by its rendering because it looks like it's hiding in the shadows, but I welcome it. Now as we look at the right side of the box, we have the front and back view of the completed kit. And here Zeta wielding its beam saber with some specs underneath it, where to store the beam saber, the same pose as the box art, the kneeling pose, because it shows off that the Zeta can achieve more than just one type of ground pose. Now at this end of the box we have the Wave Rider mode with Hyper Mega Launcher, Wave Rider mode with display base, and Wave Rider mode in the rear view. And now the flip side of the box. We have more pictures of the Hyper Mega Launcher, showing you just how tall the Hyper Mega Launcher is. And usable, apparently. You can attach the beam rifle like such. And a little elaboration on the grenade and grenade packs. Here we have a list of armaments and a close-up of the head. I notice there's a Z on the red between the eyes, and details on the inner frame, which you can add color to and cover over so that no one notices but only you. And this kit comes with 3 tiny figures, Pilot Camille Bidan and Pilot Fa. Oh, here we have little crew member. Never forget this guy. And if you think the Zeta looks funny standing on the catapult, it is because it's crouching, getting ready for sortie, if you will. Oh, and one more thing. On the specs it says the height of the Zeta is 19.8 meters. So I'm expecting it to be at least 19.8 centimeters tall. Now, after scrutinizing every square inch of the box, so to speak, let's slide the box open. Look at all those runners. Now I will examine every single runner and point out parts that stand out. First things first, we'll look at the A runner. Now the yellow parts here are orangey yellow, and that really pops up to me and makes me think of older kids somehow. I love seeing all these red. It shows that most of the parts are molded into the right color, because on the sticker sheets there are no red at all. Now I noticed this yellow part here has a gaping hole in it, and that is probably for this part right here, for the inner frame to peek through the hole. And that is something that I really like in newer master grades. Too, that it's not as consistent, because if you look at this part here, it's closed up, so you don't get any inner frame peeking through. And here you have it, and here you don't. So it's not as consistent. This nose cone is really long, which is something I like, because it will give the Wave Rider mode an even more aerodynamic look. Now I believe that this clear part right here is the inside of the face. I appreciate that it is clear, because it gives you the option to use the sticker or to paint the eyes yourself. The tail stabilizer. Great that it's molded into one piece, that way we have less seam lines. And this right here is the shield. We hear so many people say that the shield does not look like a shield at all. But if you look at this piece right here on its own, I guess it does look like a shield. But I don't mind the small shield, because to me, the Zeta is a striker type mobile suit, and not too much on defense. I guess that's it for me for the A runner. Let's move to the next one, which is the C and N runners. Now this looks like the back skirt, and I noticed that they have some details on it, but they're not molded in gray. I guess this is where the Zeta 2.0 shows its age. And this right here, I believe, is this part that felt awkward. Here we have the little crew members and pilot figures. The arms for the crew member is detachable. That'll make it easy for us to paint some detail onto the face. And this looks like some head parts for the Zeta. And I'm not sure what this tiny piece is. Here we have the V-fin. It's molded in a different yellow compared to the ones earlier, a much lighter yellow. And these are obviously the side armors for the legs. Awesomely molded in a full big piece, because that will avoid seam lines, and with many holes in them to show inner frame peeking through. And I believe those are the waist pieces or lower chest. And next I have with me the B runners. Sandwiched between the B runners is the Polycat K runner. I do appreciate that this part of the wing is molded in red and not a big sheet of sticker. And basically everything red on the mobile suit you can find here, red duplicated parts. We have some details on the soles of the feet, which is nice. There are some small tiny parts that are also molded in red. This shows their attention to detail. Oh, I forgot to mention much earlier that this is the foil sticker with dry transfer decal sheet at the back, and on the very back a sticker decal sheet, which is not water slide decal. Now we have a look at the D runner. They're duplicate parts again, and here we have some leg parts, the shin I believe, and the very back of the legs. There are some parts here which I believe are the legs, because if you look at this picture here, they're all white. I don't see any other white parts on the other parts of the Gundam except for the head. So most probably the legs. Because I can't make up some part means they have to be assembled, and that is nice when you don't always know what they are. Now for the J runner, we have two of them. And this is a transformable mobile suit, so a lot of these are inner frames, but at the same time a lot of them I can't really make out what they are. Because some of them are connection parts and joints and swivels. A lot of this stuff you don't see. I guess that's the armor, because it looks like the wrist right there. But besides that, I can't really make them all out. And now for the H runner, we have the inner frame for the legs like we see on the instructions, and I'm looking forward to painting those. And look at that barrel right there, that is nice. How they molded the whole thing, and there'll be virtually no seam line on it. But I'm not sure if it's the Hyper Mega Launcher or the beam rifle. Here we have the grenade pack parts. These are interesting. I'm guessing that they are the wings. I can't really be certain. And look at this right here. I love that these parts are separated so that it makes it easy for you to paint them. And that here should be the handle for the Hyper Mega Launcher, because it looks too big for a rifle. Not sure what these are. Hey, look, out of the blue, the inner frame for the head. And on the back we have the M runner, which looks like primarily parts for the catapult. This part right here is big. That is awesome, and it has some molded details on it too. And I guess this part goes with this part. Look forward to see how they come together. Now on to the F runner, we have two runners molded in blue. And that would be the blue parts that we see on the picture. They are all outer armor except for this leg part here. I notice it's a big piece that forms like a foundation, and it looks like it goes here. It should be this piece. Now that is nice because they can just leave that piece to be like a sticker, a little small piece that doesn't have to have any function but just stick on top of the legs. But they seem to design it in a way that it plays an integral part to the legs. Finally, we have the biggest runner. Just look how big this is. It's the size of the box practically. And it's the G runner. And I can tell right off the bat that these are wing parts. And they're interesting because in the back here, I noticed that there are some details molded into the wing or backpack, if you will. I wonder if you can see those details once everything is put together. We'll find out. Now we have the E runner and ABS runner. It says ABS on this side. the fingers and the palm, and the palm looks like they have some kind of peg to help you hold the weapons more securely. Now this side, look at the Hyper Mega Launcher on the E-Runner. It is huge. This is long, and this is long, and it extends this long. It is long. And that right here is this blue part there. Now that there is the back. We seldom get to see this back piece here unless you're assembling it yourself. So let's have a good stare for a while. And finally we have the catapult base, which serves as an action base too. Hey, what do you know? It's also a runner. There are lots of places here that helps you hold your accessory. L on the side there. I look forward to seeing where they are. That is neat. With some molded details on it, I can stick my finger in it. This right here is the extension that helps you form a little diorama with the Mark II. I'll show you what it looks like in the manual. I remember seeing it a long time ago. But as of now, let's have a look at the manual. When I first got this kit, the manual, as you can see on the very top, has been a little damaged, and this is because they placed the manual right next to the display base and it gets caught under the display base. When I first got mine, it was actually a little damaged. I had to place it under some heavy books for a few days to iron it out. The list for the runners. What I love about these instruction manuals is how they have these hand-drawn artwork in here. Makes you feel like you're putting something really highly engineered together. If you look right here, it shows that there is that little detail that I pointed out in the wing backpack earlier. Now, I doubt that it could do that, but still, I really love these drawings. Oh, look at this page here. Now, this is the one page that makes me really appreciate this kit, and makes me think also that they might not be a 3.0 release, because it shows that they have actually put a lot of work into making this 2.0 kit. And here it is. That is how it would look like attached to the base that comes with the Mark II. And on the very back here, a decal guide, and look at these. All these right here are instructions on how to transform this guy. And on the very back we have the painting guide and this little insert here that reminds you to panel line your gunpla. This unboxing video really gives me a lot of hype for building this kit, and I hope you feel the same way too. And if this video helped you in any way, please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you have enjoyed watching this video, do give it a thumbs up. It's been a pleasure unboxing the Zeta 2.0 for you guys. For more videos to come on the Toyama23 hobby channel, hit the subscribe and the notification bell so you can catch me in the next video. With that said, keep things awesome keep the hobbies going, keep the hobbyist alive. Thank you for joining me, Toyama23, signing out.